Alright, so translate number 1, a number added to 18, so that would be, whoops, let's try that again. N plus 18 equals, because this means equals, 7 times the difference of a number, so it would be 7 times n plus 3, not plus. Let's try that. That should be a minus there. Scratch that out. Okay. And we go down here to the number 3. So, solving, so I should probably subtract 7 from both sides. T should equal 4. Kind of the same thing here. Add 12 to the other side. V should equal 7. Divide by negative 8. X should equal positive 7. Multiply by the reciprocal. So B should be negative 9 sevenths, so Y should equal negative 54 over 7. Number 7, cross multiply to get 27A is equal to 1,350. Dividing by 27, you should get 50. And number 8, start by subtracting the 3. Negative 5b is equal to negative 35, and divide by negative 5b is equal to 7 again. Okay, well, let's keep going. Alright, so write the equation and then solve. So the equation on number 9 should be n minus 8.1 equals 4.9. Adding 8.1 over n should equal 13. Number 10, 15 is added to the product of a number and 6. So what I have is 15 plus 6x is equal to 9. Subtract 15. So that should be 6x. 6x is equal to negative 6. X equals then negative 1. Alright, number 11. I chose not to write an equation for this one. So, but you can. I chose to just start here with the $42.15, and I just chose to work it backwards because it says I bought an umbrella for $23.75, and then I had $42.15 left. So I just chose to add these two together first to come up with $65.90. Okay, so then I just go back to the next statement. It says that was half of what I had before, so I just added $65.90 to itself, or I could have doubled it. So I should get $131.80. And then it says, hey, I spent $25 on that and $20 on that. So I just added $45 to that to come up with a grand total of $176.80. Okay. Okay, let's look at number 12. It just says evaluate, so I'm just going to take these two numbers and plug them in. So I should end up with 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Minus 2 gives me the absolute value of negative 11, but the absolute value, so the answer is 11. All right, 13. This one takes a little bit of remembering because you're asking, okay, what number gives me an absolute value of 2? Well, there's two choices then. That means 2t plus 4 has to equal 2, or 2t plus 4 has to equal negative 2. So subtract the 4. 2t is equal to negative 2. Then t does have to equal negative 1. Or I do this one here, and t would come out to be negative 3. Okay, and I'd have to do the same thing on 14. r plus 3 is equal to 1, or r plus 3 equals negative 1. Okay, subtracting the 3, r has to equal negative 2, or it equals, r equals negative 4. Okay, now 15, determine whether the two ratios perform a proportion. Well, it tells you to use the cross product. Well, I'm just going to multiply straight across. 51 times 14 is 714. 17 times 39 is 663, so this is simply a no. They are not proportional, otherwise they should have come out to the same number. Alright, so 16 then. Solve the proportion. Well, cross multiply. 9a is equal to 180 divided by 9. Not x. A is equal to 20. 17, alright, I need t on both sides, so I'm going to subtract this t to the other side. So I should get 9 minus 2t is equal to 3. Subtract the 9 over, negative 2t is equal to negative 6. T then equals positive 3. Let's do some distribution. Distribute 2y minus 12 is equal to, and I should probably combine those, 2y plus 12. Alright, that's a little bit of an issue. I can't take a number and subtract it from 12 and get the same thing as if I were to add it to 12. So this is no solution. Alright, 19. 19 says, well, let's solve that for z, so let's just start with distribution. 17 plus 3z minus 6 minus 11z is equal to negative 7z minus 14 plus 14. Okay, I'll start canceling those off. Let's see, what else do I have? Okay, I got a 3z and negative 11z, that's negative 8z. And I have a positive 17 in that. That is 11, so plus 11 equals negative 7z. Okay, just for simplicity, I'm going to add this 8z over. I normally don't do that. I usually go the other way. But then z does equal 11. And number 20, it says to solve for r. Well, start by subtracting t over. So r divided by n is equal to 4v minus t, and let's multiply n to the other side. So that means r is equal to 4v minus t times n. And number 22, find the discount price. Flashlight costs $18, and you have a discount of 25%. So that means we need to figure out what is 25% of $18. So 25% multiplied by 18 should come out as, what did I say earlier, $4.5. Now, this is not the discounted price, this is the amount of discount. So that's not how much I would actually pay. This is just how much less I pay. So now I have to go $18 minus $4.50. So I should come up with $13.50. And again, I didn't really use an equation for that. I don't think it's necessary to make that thing, or make that into an equation. We could, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. Alright, so it looks like we're combining nuts and dried fruit to make up a trail mix. Now this one's kind of different because it says how much of each snack should you use to make 10 pounds of trail mix that costs that much. Well, the trail mix is what my end result is. Okay, so this is the trail mix. And I'm going to have to add on nuts and fruit. Well, I know that I need to end up with 10 pounds of trail mix that cost $3.30 each, or per pound. I also know that nuts are $3.60 a pound, and that dried fruit is $2.40 a pound. But I don't know how much of either one. And so this is where it gets kind of tricky. I'm gonna find how many pounds of nuts I need. So I'm gonna say it's 3.5x. But now how to figure out fruit? Well, think of it this way. Let's just say I needed 3 pounds of nuts. How could I figure out how many pounds of fruit? Okay, and just think about that. So, and it's fairly simple. Well, if there's 10 pounds total, and 3 of them are nuts, that means the fruit has to be 7. But how we got there was, well, we took 10 minus 3. Now, let's think about it. But it's not 3, it's x. So in general, it'd be x minus 10, like that. Now, distribute that. So 3.6x is plus 24 minus 2.4x equals 33. I have 3.6x and negative 2.4. That's 1.2x. Subtract the 24 to the 33 should give me 9. So I have 1.2 equals, or 1.2x equals 9. Dividing 1.2, x equals 7.5 pounds. And that's of nuts. So to figure out how many pounds of fruit you'd subtract, so that'd be 2.5 pounds of fruit. All right, number 24. So Paula leaves home driving 40 miles per hour. 1 hour later, her brother Dan leaves home driving the same direction at a speed of 50 miles per hour. How long will it take Dan to reach Paula? Okay, so what's equal here? That's what's always tough with these types of problems. Usually, guys, for these types of problems is either distance, time, or speed. Well, we already know they're traveling two different speeds, and they're going to be traveling at two different times because Paul left an hour earlier. So that means their distances are equal. So let's figure that out. How far did they travel? Well, we want to figure out how far Dan traveled, or how long he traveled, excuse me. So let's figure out how long it took for Dan to travel. So that'd be his time, X. Well, we don't really actually know how long Paula's been traveling, but we do know that she's been traveling for at least 1 more hour. So now I can solve this. Let's distribute the 40. So 40x plus 40 equals 50x. Subtract 40x over. 40 equals 10x. Divide by 10. X is equal to 4 hours. And number 25. I'm going to choose to do this one without plugging in the variable, or without plugging in the numbers. Oops. First, it says v is equal to pi r squared h. And let's solve for h. Well, this is all just multiplied, so let's just divide it over. Easy enough. So that means h is equal to v divided by pi r squared. Now I'm going to choose to plug in the numbers here. Let's say they said that volume is that there, 4,752, and pi is pi, and 9 squared. Okay. Now what I would do at this point is use a calculator. I don't have my calculator on me, but I do know that it simplifies to 76 over 3 pi. Trying to remember what the answer key said. I think it's like 18.76, okay, give or take a little bit. All right, and the last one, the bonus question. Ooh, let me erase this a little bit so we can read it. What happened? Why isn't it no erasing? Don't know. That's strange. Okay, so this actually gets tough to read. Let me try to back up. Oops. Let's redo some of that. Okay, don't really know why it's not erasing there, but that's really hard to see. So, alright. So, what it says is the store has a sale on board games for 25% off the regular price. The checkerboard set has a sale price of $12. This has been moved to a clearance rack. Now, this is where it's kind of tough. What we need to do first is figure out what's the full price of this checkerboard. Okay, here's the easiest way to do that. If it's 25% off, how much are we paying for it? Are we paying the 25% of the total price or 75%? Well, it's going to be, we're paying 75% over 100, has to equal, well, I don't know what the total is, but I do know that 75% of some number is 12. Now, if I do this calculation, X does come out to be $16. Okay? So, now, this is full price. Now, the full price is, for a clearance item, is 40%. Okay, so now let's figure out 40% of $16, so 0.4 times 16 comes out to be $6.40, and we subtract $6.40 from 16, we get $9.60. Okay, so that one's kind of tough, but that's again why that's bonus. You will get something like that on the test.